Welcome.
Move it, knucklehead.
Welcome to Knucklehead Podcast with Josh Ward.
Welcome back to another Knuckleheads podcast. This past week has been wretched. Absolutely wretched for me. Mainly because my best friend left me. Nah, he got out of the military. He's headed back home, started a new life, so I'm happy for him. Even though he got out of the Air Force. So, you know, whatever. I'm not going to say anything else. Anyway, I was scrolling on Facebook at work. I was at work and I was on Facebook. But I was looking down and I come across an article that talked about China's mission. Really? You gonna start crying right when I start the podcast? What do you want, man? Here. Eat it. Eat all of it. All right. Yeah, China has this. Okay. I think it's Chang. Yeah, Chang 4 mission. They sent plants to the moon, and they're sprouting. They're growing on the freaking moon. Okay, that's not. I don't even know what the moon is. It's a rock, right? I guess I don't know that much about space. Space blows my mind though. It's a seed. They sent they have pictures. It says right here, seeds taken up to the moon by China's Chang 4 mission have sprouted, says China National Space Administration. Okay. They plan on researching the far side of the moon. Far side of the moon is the side of the moon that faces away from the Earth. Okay. I didn't even know that was unexplored. I'm so naive when it comes to space that I think we've already been to the moon like 100 times. And have we only been to the moon once? Like, I feel stupid because I don't know these things. And I don't want to take up too much time doing research and trying to find it. But how many times have we been to the moon? The United States Apollo 11 was the first manned mission. Okay, here we go. 6 missions. 6 times. Okay, I only know of one. I know that Neil Armstrong's footprint's still there, so that's pretty dope. I don't know. Space is crazy. Space is absolutely freaking nuts. That's another thing. SpaceX with the guy who made Tesla. I cannot believe I don't know this guy's name. I'm having the biggest brain fart right now. Or he didn't make Tesla, but well, did he? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Elon Musk. God. Yeah. So Elon Musk, when he sent that Tesla car up into space with a mannequin, I'm like, that's fake. That's got to be fake. It wasn't. Okay? It wasn't fake. And when the rockets shot up, let go of the car, and then came back down and landed pinpoint on those little pads. Okay, this is like future stuff. Okay, you really see this type of stuff in movies. So like when I watched that, I'm like, this is real. Like, this is my time frame. And I know it's only one thing, but that is insane to see that on TV. Like, is this how people felt when they watched Neil Armstrong get on a rocket and shoot off the Earth? That's how I feel. Except people go to the International Space Station all the time and then come back. But they do so. They have to, like, once they go up into space, they have to let go of stuff, and usually it comes crashing down back to Earth. Maybe I'm wrong about that too, but pretty sure that's how it works. All right. Space exploration needs to be a thing. I've played so many games that has to do with space, and I'm like, I want to go. That's why I got all giddy when the Space Force. I know that's never going to be like a legit thing, Space Force, but when I heard that that's a thing, and I heard Trump talking about it, why did I get hyped? I was about ready to re-enlist as a Space Force Marine, aka Rico's Roughnecks. All right, I want to be a Rico's Roughneck. Okay, I want to do it. My two of my really good buddies from back home, they started an kind of like a gun enthusiast IG page, and the link to the page is in the description. They my buddy Zach is a very he's come far from what we grew up as, which wasn't bad, but we were heathens, let me tell you that right now. But he's accomplished a lot. That's the word I'm looking for. He accomplished a lot. He's got a huge house with a lot of land, and as soon as he got that land, they just started shooting guns, right? They started shooting guns. They just started shooting guns like crazy. And Zach and Justin, they started building guns. I went home for I live in South Georgia, and I went home for Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, and went to Zach's house. They threw a little party for me. And when I was in the basement, we were all hanging out, drinking, having a good time. I saw all these guns that Zach and Justin had built. I don't know if any Justin's guns were there, but I've seen pictures of Justin's guns from his house. They have an armory, and I am jealous. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to just ask Zach and Justin for tips all the time, because I'm pretty excited for this IG page, because it's called Deep Six, and that's actually a clothing company that we were supposed to make together, but you know, we all got really busy with our lives, and that's completely understandable. But they always build guns all day long. They build guns all day long. Zach takes care of his family. Justin takes care of his family. And then they build guns. It's kind of like how I am with motorcycles. That's how I am. And my best friend Jeremy and his entire family, we like building motorcycles. I mean, once I got home, or when I moved to South Georgia for the first time, and I got a CBR 600 F4i, and it was rough. It was in very rough condition. I'm trying to keep my dog quiet. He's crying for no reason. I let him out. He's just crying because I'm not giving him attention. Like, I keep turning my head and like going, like, kind of like grabbing his snout and telling him to quit crying, let go, just starts going it again. So if you hear him, it gets pretty rough, I'll try to calm him down, but I don't know what his deal is tonight. I really don't. I treat him good, I promise. Ask anybody. I baby the crap out of him. But I baby him too much. That's probably why. Yeah, I got a CBR 600 F4i. Now, I'm 230 pounds, give or take. And a 600cc bike is, like, I can go fast on a 600 bike, but you put Jeremy on a 600 bike next to me, he's going to fly, because he weighs 130 pounds. For me to go as fast as he does on a 600, I think I need at least a 750 or a 9. And that might be just my stupid intelligence, but in my mind, that's how it works, and I'm pretty sure the weight ratio is a big deal. Okay, but I gotta tell you, I'm very hard on myself. I'm my own worst enemy. I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror half the time, and I know that's like kind of stupid to say, but it's true. I'm gonna be dead honest with you, because why lie? But when it comes to racing, Jeremy's dad, who has taught me as much as he can, and so is Jeremy, but his dad's very knowledgeable when it comes to motorcycle drag racing. And he told me, the day you race and you don't have fun anymore, you need to stop racing. It's true. I've been to, let's see, SGMP for the first race. Second race is in Rockingham, North Carolina. Third race is in Dragway 42 up in Ohio. The fourth race got canceled due to the hurricane, and the fifth race was back at SGMP here in South Georgia. So I've been to a total of 4 of the 5 races the entire year. Every race, I've raced twice on Saturday and twice on Sunday because I've always lost. And now, me losing, it's not going to like make me, I'm not salty over it. I'm not salty because I lost at all, because I'm new. Last year is my rookie year, and honestly, I'm going to try my hardest to race this year while I'm going to school in Orlando. It's going to be really tough for me, but I'm still going to do it because I love it. I love being at the track. I wish I could live there. I never get old. It never gets old, especially motorcycle drag racing. I mean, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie when it comes to most things, but I've never felt a rush like I did when I went down the track for the first time. I want to say the third time I went down the track at Rockingham. I take that back. I didn't race at the first SGMP, at the first South Georgia Motorsports race of the year. So I've only raced at 3 places. Yeah, oh well. I think about the first time I raced Sunday morning at Rockingham, North Carolina. I was learning how to launch, right? So I didn't know how to launch correctly. So what you do is you pull the throttle in, set your R's, and you slowly let off the clutch while giving it throttle once the bottom bulb turns yellow, right? As soon as it turns, like in the middle of it turning yellow, that's when you want to launch. And I couldn't launch right because I didn't know the ratio, throttle to clutch ratio. So me being anxious and excited, I didn't just slowly let off the clutch. I just popped it out of my fingers. It brought that front wheel up all the way to 12, and I slammed down on the drag strip, and I was on the opposite side of the track. And I was still on 2 wheels, so I just took off, hitting the air shift all the way down. I get down, I still ran 14 seconds, which is crap, but it was an adrenaline. I was shaking. I was so freaking excited. And I'd been excited a couple times on Saturday, but Sunday morning I was laughing because I had almost bit it with a Honda F2. I can't remember what year it is. It's a 600cc, and it's set up for drag racing. It's been drag racing probably about as long as I've been alive. Like, that is a very old bike. A lot of asses have sat in that seat, and I felt I'm privileged to actually race on that bike all year. I wish I could buy that bike off of Bob, but he'll never get rid of it, and I'll get mad if he does. That's like a family heirloom at this point, which I can't wait to have that myself. But also, first time I ever raced at Rockingham, we get there Friday. Yeah, we get there Friday morning, and we set up shop and all that. We get on the bikes, we go down to the tech booth. Tech booth is where you show that you have all your leathers, your helmet, your gloves, all your safety gear, and they weigh you and your bike together, and they give you stickers to race however many days or how many classes you race that weekend. I went there, set the bike up, walked over to the tech booth with Bob. Bike fell over. first day the bike fell over. I can't, I told you I was hard on myself? Imagine how I felt. I wanted to leave. I wanted to absolutely go bury my head in the sand somewhere. I felt so stupid. Bob just looked at me. He goes, "Good job, Ward." And I didn't want to be there anymore after that. Like, I had to, like, hold everything in from just screaming bloody murder at myself. I was mad at myself. I mean, how could you not be? You dropped a bike before you even raced for the first time in your entire life at the tech booth. But what happened was, I didn't drop it while I was on it. I put the kickstand in a crack, and it sunk in the crack, and that's when the bike fell over. But my teammates don't let me just quit that easy, and that's good, even though I wasn't going to, but I wanted to. Oh my God. I broke the shift lever on the bike, and Bob rode it back to the trailer, and I walked back because I needed to cool off. By the time I got back, Jeremy had found a lever for me at a shop that was an hour and a half away, and we drove there. We detached the rig from the trailer and drove the rig to it's called Cycle Gear shop. It's in North Carolina somewhere. It's about an hour and a half away from Rockingham. Right across the street from the drag strip is an old NASCAR oval track. So if that gives you any preference to where it is. But we drove an hour and a half from that drag strip to pick up a clutch lever that fit my bike. And I also bought kickstand plates, which I don't know if you guys ever had one of those, but they come in handy. Whenever I'm at the drag strip, I keep it in my pocket. If I stop the bike for anything, I'll put the kickstand down and put that kick plate underneath it. I refuse to drop another bike because of a crack. It will not happen. Never again. But lessons learned, I guess. But yeah, that was probably, last year was probably the funnest year I've had in a long time, because I got to race, for one. I got to meet a bunch of people. People at the drag strip are very wholehearted, calm people. Very nice, because they know how dangerous it is. At any moment, something can go wrong, and it doesn't matter if I have full leathers on and a helmet, I could still die, even though I'm 230 pounds in a 600. Fastest time I went is low 12s. I was really shooting for at least high 11s, and I was racing the hell out of that bike. I got progressively better throughout the races last year. At the final at SGMP in South Georgia, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live now, they had the finals, Pingle Topfield Garage Finals. I can't remember what it's called, but it was Manufacturers Cup. And Manufacturers Cup is where the big guys go to race, like numero unos. Larry McBride goes like 250 mile an hour on a drag bike. That guy's insane, by the way. He's like 70 something. He's still racing. Awesome guy. Loves kids. But that's another thing. If he wrecked, he's dead. There is no bailing from that. If you're going 250 mile an hour on a motorcycle and you crash, you're dead. So every time he goes down this drag strip is it's like a jab at his life, and he's doing it because he loves it. I think Larry and a couple other people, when it comes to motorcycle drag racing, they kind of like are my idols. Larry McBride is definitely one of them. Jeremy and his dad are one of them. And a couple other guys that I've met at the drag strip, they're really cool. My buddy Bo, I wish I could tag him. I don't know what he has or not, but Bo, I can't think. I think he raced a Gixxer, but the guy who taught him is Ralph Madrano, and Ralph had a tough time at the finals because his bike. Bikes have problems. It doesn't matter how many times you check, recheck, and check again. They're going to have problems, especially drag bikes. And that happened to be it. And he got up to the line. They had to push it back because it wouldn't stay started, or it was having an overheating problem or something like that. And I felt so bad because I'm pretty sure he was number one spot for quite a while there. But Jeremy was number one qualifier for Street Fighter, which is the 950 index class. I got pretty excited for him. There's actually a picture on my Facebook of that JT Norton took where Jeremy was burning out, and he was digging in right when he let off the clutch. You can see the bike kind of lower a little bit, and the bottom left-hand corner or the bottom right-hand corner is a picture of me, him, and his dad at the opener at SGMP that year. But yeah, I had a great time. It was fun, and I'm telling you, when you hear a Top Fuel motorcycle drag bike up close, you need to have some hearing protection, because if you don't, your hearing's shot. My hearing's already shot, so I don't wear hearing protection, but you can probably feel it in your bones, like deep down your chest. It rattles your very soul. That's how loud and powerful these bikes are. That's why I'll forever be a motorcycle drag racer. When I come back home, I'm going to be racing at national trails, anywhere I can drag away 42, all the places I can possibly drag that are close for the time being. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get me, even if I have to get a little crappy trailer, or not even an enclosed trailer. If I just get like a regular trailer, I'll do that too. But yeah, I mean, this whole season has been absolutely insane. I cannot wait for another season, especially with the boys. I'm a part of a racing team. Not a lot of people can say that. I've been blessed with great friends and great teachers. DOG, shush. I've been blessed with great friends and great teachers. Jeremy, for Christmas, he got me two pictures of me going on a drag strip. One, as I'm launching, you can see the front wheel coming off a little bit. You can tell that my launches are getting better. And the other one was me flying down the track as fast as I can, even though my big ass looks kind of ridiculous on a little 600 like that. His dad always tells me I need a Busa or a ZX14 or something. Eventually I will. I'd like to have one of those. But yeah, such a good time. And Dragway 42, a bunch of my buddies came out because it was in Ohio. We drove through the night. We got there, set up shop. Uncle Raj was out there. He was racing CBR 1000, which this is how much the Burts win. They won Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday they had won. Roger won two. He won one class, and then Sunday Roger won two classes and Bob won one. Or was that right? Man, I can't remember. They won a lot. Let me just throw that out there. But yeah, I'm very proud to be on this team. They've actually taught me a lot. I'm sure as soon as I get down to Orlando and I find me a drag strip, which I already have, I'll be showing up and doing testing tunes as much as I possibly can. I'm going to race that bike until I blow it up. I'm going to fix it, race it again until I blow it up. Just continue on and on and on until I can get another motorcycle, maybe something a little bigger. I'd like to buy that 900 off Zach. Zach, if you're hearing this, come on, baby. Give me that 900. Another one of Bob's bikes. I mean, what's really cool about my 600 is I street rode it for a while, and then it was in such bad shape. The wiring harness was bad. The ECU was going out. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make it a drag bike, because I did a complete overhaul and I was throwing F1 codes like crazy. So I'm like, okay, this bike isn't gonna be street ready anymore. So I've done a lot to it. I'm about to reshim my valves. That's going to take a lot of work. I might do that this Sunday. But another thing is, I work under a master tech. Oh, I did work under a master tech for Cadillac's GM dealership, and he taught me a lot of stuff when it comes to mechanics. The guy's been doing this for 40 plus years. He did it in the Air Force. Very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. He was big into diagnosing vehicles. So I wanted to learn as much as I could from him before I go to school, even though what I'm going to be doing isn't on vehicles. It's just going to be on motorcycles and four-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff like that, which I'm pretty excited. I'm beyond excited to start that. But I told him that while I was at SGMP the first time, I had to walk from the trailer to the pit, and that's a far walk depending on where you parked, and we parked far. So when I went there, my feet were on fire, okay, because I didn't have walking shoes. I walked all day, constantly back and forth, trailer, pits, trailer, constantly. At one point, I stayed at the pits for a while because my feet were just aching. Now, I'm on my feet all day, so don't think I'm just lazy. I was just continuously walking as fast as I can back and forth because I wanted to see my team race. I wanted to talk to them about their tickets when I got back to the trailer. It was all these things, and I got to talking to him about how we need a pit bike. Everyone has a pit bike. Pit bikes are like almost a necessity. And he was like, "Well, I have a little mini trail. It's a Z70. It's a Z50 1971 mini trail, Honda." And he's like, "It's not a 50 anymore though. I put a 125 motor in it." He put a 125 motor in a 50cc frame. It fits. Every time you put that thing in second gear, the front wheel comes up. It comes up for a solid second, even with me on it. That's how powerful this little bike is. I love it. He gave it to me. Now, when he gave it to me, he had been collecting dust. It's rusty in his garage. I don't care. I don't care how it looked. It's free. I will never complain about free stuff, especially when it comes to motorcycles, which I started riding about a year and a half ago. I actually started my riding career drag racing at the Manufacturers Cup. So I'm pretty proud of that. But he gave me this mini trail, and he was like, "Hey man," I was like, "You got to let me give you some money for this." He goes, "There's good people in this world. Just let me be one of them." I almost broke down in tears. I'm like, dude, no one gives me stuff like that. They don't give me stuff like that. Especially that like compassionate about it. He goes, "It's doing nothing. It's just collecting dust in my garage. There's no point in me having it right now. There really isn't, because I'm not going to do anything else to it." He goes, "I bought a box of Chinese, like knockoff Chinese parts for it years ago, and that's been collecting dust in the box on a shelf in my garage, along with the mini trail." So he gave it to me. He gave me the mini trail, the box, which included a Chinese knockoff carburetor that broke immediately. We actually had to go buy another one, but we had to buy a new chain, new counter sprocket. The brakes don't work at all, but it came with ignition kill, and it's on the left side, so it's kind of like difficult to use. I found out the brakes don't work because I was going down the hill in the pits at SGMP, and there was a van in front of me, and I wouldn't stop, so I literally had to gun it to the left I turned right really hard. My knee actually scraped the ground, so I was not happy about that. But it's an old bike, you're gonna run into problems, so I'm eventually gonna tear that apart and Sand down the frame and maybe repaint it. Do all this other stuff to it. I plan on doing that. I'm going to do a lot this Sunday, that's for sure. But, yeah, I think this wraps up my third podcast. I'm going up on about half hour now. I'm trying to keep it like half hour for right now, because I'm afraid if I go over half an hour, which I'm probably going to here in a second, it's not going to load all of it on YouTube, because I know that sometimes that stuff is first video I ever loaded was some crappy video that I've already deleted of me playing Warframe, and it said you can only download 10 minutes at a time. That might have been old YouTube though. I don't know about new YouTube. Oh, hit 30 minutes. Anyways, yeah, if you want, I will put the link to the Deep Six IG page. They're clowns. You're gonna love the content these guys have. They're insane. Can't wait to be home with them and shoot with them and ride with them. They also like to ride. Very big riders. Justin actually built like a, I want to say it's a bobber out of a old cafe racer, and Bob Burt remembers that. He wasn't too happy when that pulled up in his driveway. Anyways, yeah, so I hope everybody has a good night, and every Thursday I'm going to post a podcast every Thursday night. So I'm going to record Wednesday night and post it Thursday night. Tonight I had to record Thursday night, so what you're hearing is what I just did tonight, because I'm an idiot. Forgot about it last night. I really did. So everybody have a good night. See you.